So if you were to be in the area where the temple was, at the entranceway to the temple is the burning brazier. And it's at this burning brazier, it's the altar, so to speak, and it's where we sacrifice our material good, our material sense of existence. So as we're going through this process tonight, I hope you'll take this opportunity to practice yourself, either writing the things down or bringing them up into your conscious awareness, all of those things that constitute that material sense of your own personal existence. Because we can't go into the presence of God carrying our burdens or carrying our self-aggrandizements, basically. And whatever is of value to us, whatever we're putting a personal preference to or a personal value to, think about whatever that is, our relationships, our bank account, our health, whatever it is. The sacrifice that is demanded of us is the sacrifice of our material concepts. Throw away, consign to the fire our belief that money is supplies. And this is a big one. That whole aspect of limitation and lack, and that I'm not enough if I don't have enough. So throw away, consign to the fire our belief that money is supply. Our supply is already complete within us. Sorry about that, my little dog just barked. When you are convinced that you have dug out the material concepts for this moment and thrown them onto the fire, the brazier, it is time to move to the laver. But don't move there yet. Really take some time with me here tonight to conjure up just today, not yesterday, not what you're thinking about tomorrow, just what you've dealt with today. I knew I was going to be doing this presentation tonight, but lo and behold, didn't something come up for me this morning around that aspect of lack and limitation? And when these things come up, the faster that we can realize that we've just stepped into temptation and throw them onto the fire, the better off we will be. It probably took me about half an hour to come to my senses around it, but just that commitment to get faster and faster and faster at throwing these concepts onto the fire. All material concepts need to be sacrificed, and it needs to be done quickly as we can, right? No judgment, no condemnation here whatsoever, but as quickly as we can. That's our material sense of health and wealth. And so knowing that concept that of being a material body with a heart, lungs, bloodstream, digestive system, brain, whatever aspect of a belief in a finite material sense we have, put that on the altar. Our health is not in our body. Our health is not in our organs. Our wealth is not in our money in the bank or our material possessions. Realize God as the source of all activity, the substance of all form. And what concepts are we holding of family, friendships, neighbors, enemies, race? Are we realizing that we are one in Christ? If there's any of those, family that we love or family that we have difficulties with, friendships that we're tight with, friendships that we're a little bit more distant with, neighbors that we are glad they're our neighbors, and neighbors that we're maybe not so glad, people that we perceive as our enemies, somebody of a different race. Are we seeing any of those as anything other than the Christ? So it's giving up that concept of that person being a person. Right? Sacrifice that which is worthless for that which is divinely real. Throwing it all into the brazier, the fire, give it up. And give that up now, even to the best of your ability, before we go to the next slide. And that next step is the laver or the bath. It's the tank filled with water. And it's to perform the rite of purification. Bathing yourself symbolically, internally and externally, of what you know in your consciousness needs to be purified. And that's going to be different for each of us, and it'll be different today at this point in time than it will be tomorrow morning, excuse me, or tomorrow afternoon. But it's only this moment, this instant of whatever that we have in our awareness that needs purification. And as you stand before that bath figuratively with your consciousness, you purify your sense of relationships, your sense of good, your sense of God and man. And in a moment, we're going to move to that table of showbread. But I took another part of this same audio. It wasn't in the part of the temple meditation, but I thought, and I'm just directing this at myself, that little I in terms of purification. If I haven't put that little I, that little personal sense of self on the brazier on the fire, then and I got all the way to the bath carrying a personal sense of myself, because that personal sense of self is the only devil. And it would lead me into doing something of myself. So that personal sense of self, a branch trying to live on its own, being the prodigal. So before we continue, if there is a personal sense of self, if you haven't washed yourself away completely, and I understand how hard that is, then just take a moment now to put it all in the bath, wash it all away. And then we end up at the table of the showbread. So if we have been faithful in those other two steps, we will find an opening between two pillars that leads into the second part of the courtyard, where there is a table with loaves of showbread to reveal to you the omnipresence of supply of all good health, of all good wealth, of all good relationships. And just contemplate that for a moment as you're standing by the showbread. Just contemplate that the staff of life is always here and now, and it's always right now, isn't it? And if we feel any lack whatsoever, it's because we've dug into our memory and we've projected it into a future event. But here right now with all of us, we're all fulfilled in this holy instant right now. And forever is the omnipresence of the substance of life, and God is that substance, always here, always now. Fill your consciousness of the omnipresence and infinity of the good in your own being, not of yourself, and prepare to move toward the candelabra. Can you feel that holy substance as the substance that's within you always, pouring forth from you, to the degree that we accept and allow that omnipresence of our being? Now you can walk over to the left to find another table with the candelabra with 7 lighted candles, symbolizing the ever presence of spiritual light. The spiritual light that you are. Stand in the presence of the candelabra metaphorically. Stand there now. Fill yourself with the omnipresence of spiritual light, the Christ light in your experience, the allness, the sevenness, the completeness of spiritual illumination. And this is self-completeness in God. God is complete within you now, not God and. God is appearing as you now. There's not two-ness. That's what non-duality means. Open up a way for the imprisoned splendor to escape. One of Joel's favorite poems. It can't come to you. It's already there. You already are self-complete. There's nothing outside of you. Nobody can add anything to you. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million in the bank. Robin Williams is proof of that. 23 million or more. I think he had more than that, way more than that in the bank, and all the fame that one could want. And that was all outside of him. It didn't bring any feeling of self-completeness. And you already have and are that self-completeness. Here within you right now is the spiritual light. You are the light, the guidance, and the wisdom. Fill yourself with that wisdom of the omnipresence of spiritual good and understanding that you are. You can't earn it or deserve it. It's not possible. You are it. You need not obtain it. You are in the presence of its completeness, its sevenness. Just let it pour forth into expression, and when you are ready, we'll move to the altar of incense. As Hafiz, the Sufi poet, said, be the hole in the flute that the Christ breath breathes through. What does the hole have to do? We just need to be and let God live and move and have its being through us. And when you are filled with the realization of the light within, come back to the center, to the burning incense. And this is the place of devotion, worship, sanctity, sacredness. In this presence, we have our thanksgiving. And it's not a thanksgiving, as Joel would say, for what we have individually in our life, for our good, because God is no respecter of persons. This is a thanksgiving, a praise for the all presence in everyone, everything, everywhere, all the time. And for the acknowledgement of self-completeness, not just in us, but in everything and everyone. We bring to conscious remembrance the steps we have taken since we entered into the entrance to the courtyard, the burning brazier where we put all our mortal material concepts, the laver where we purified ourselves, the showbread where we realized our completeness, the candelabra where we recognize that we are the light. And we praise the Lord and express inwardly our gratitude for the revelation of our self-completeness in God. All of this is here within us now, and we give praise, thanksgiving, adoration, whatever emotion is stirred up within us at the tremendous revelation of our self-completeness in God. If we have done this well, and our meditation has been gentle, slow, peaceful, calm, surreal, we will find the mystery. For right in back of this incense burner, there has been a curtain like a mist. But now, if we have come into the realization of our God being, we can say, I see the mist disperses. The curtain is withdrawn, and it is all open space now to the rear. And in the rear is the Ark of the Covenant. So think about your journey up to now. The fire, all material concepts, the purification, the showbread, candelabra, is the incense there. But the Ark of the Covenant is at the rear. No one may approach the Ark of the Covenant except they have been through each of these steps successfully, and received at each step an inner assurance that all is well. Are you feeling that now? Just go within. It's okay if you're not. You get to do this as many times as you want. That inner assurance that all is well, that God is. And then if you come to this place of adoration, at that time, there is no more mental or spiritual darkness. And you can say now, I see the Ark of the Covenant, the law of the Lord. And since God is in the temple, you are standing in the presence of God. And this realization you can receive from within, a divine impulsion that lets you know that now you are standing in the presence of God. You have gone all the way from the front of the courtyard, cluttered up with material concepts, and come all the way to the rear and divested yourself of all false trust, false confidence, impurities. And then in this moment of adoration of worship, thanksgiving, and praise, You see the mist disperse and witness the presence of God, reminding you that I am ever with you. Having given up all expectation, all desire for anything outside of you. I was with you in the beginning when you were cluttered up with those material concepts, but you couldn't behold me then. This mist was across your eyes, across your awareness, and this mist could not be dispersed until all the things that were the substance of the mist had been dispelled from your consciousness. And when the substance of the mist was dispelled, the mist itself disappeared, and you stood in the presence of the Holy of Holies. We can't get there while we're holding on to a material sense of self, a separate self, a human self, a body self, or have attributed that to anything outside of us, any condition, any person. If we're holding on to any fear, judgment, criticism, condemnation, if we're clinging or resisting, only as we let go of all of it, put it all on that fire, wash ourselves of all impurities, know the substance of our being, that we are the light, and that we are devoted, dedicated completely to realizing God as the one and only life. Standing in the presence of the Holy of Holies, or standing by the table of showbread, realizing the omnipresence of your own supply from your own being, and standing at that table to the left, and realizing the spiritual light and illumination. You are no longer the branch, you are the vine through which the showbread and light are flowing, and you take on a new relationship to the entire world. You can say, I embody the substance of life. The light in me flows out to the world, not of myself. I am rooted and grounded in God. The realization of omnipresence, of good, constitutes my Christhood. But we will be tempted again, continually tempted by that world mind, by that temptation to be that separate self. And we put this wisdom into practice. Temptation or problems are appearances to take thought for some outer conditioning, wondering how you can improve it or fix it. There's nothing broken, no sick body, no sick bank account, no sick relationship, right? There's nothing to be improved or fixed. God's kingdom is perfect now, and it's finished now, and you are that now. The remedy is to get quiet quickly, as quickly as we can, and realize that the answer lies within you, not in your thinking capacity. We'll never, never, never get out of this with the human mind. It will just keep you going in circles. And we think that sometimes, we're only required to get on our knees for those major experiences, but it's everything. This applies to minor and major experiences in life. Everything is an opportunity to realize our oneness. Everything that's being presented to us is our curriculum for that moment. And that's the only thing that matters. So we can give thanks for all things. Nothing is happening to us. It's all happening for us. Turn to the Christ of your being, and the way will be revealed to you. Stop thinking, planning, hoping, despairing, desiring. Live in your self-completeness in God. Go within all the way into the temple. And we can trust that he performeth the thing that is appointed for me. Step by step, you are led out of the world of self. Divine ideas will be given from within. The Christ will appear in infinite form and variety. The Christ performs what is given you to do. You will not have to seek and strive and struggle for it. It will be brought to you what you should do. Straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. The sense of separation from God constitutes all of the error and evil that comes into our experience. If we just contemplate it on that one sentence and realize the truthfulness of that, every problem is a belief that we're separate and apart from God, that we left the Garden of Eden, the metaphorical Garden of Eden, right? It's a belief that there's two, that there's God and if we just relax and let the Christ express itself, and contentment, peace, and security will make itself evident. There is a discipline to this. That's why straight is the gate and narrow is the way. It's why we're not all concert pianists. That's why we're not all Olympians, right? There is a discipline to this. This is we're in the spiritual Olympics. We have built up this personal sense of I over generations, and it's a very thick crust. And everything that's presented to us is to break away that crust, that personal sense of I. Our ego says, be dependent on God? Well, where do I come in? And getting back to his statement right from the beginning, this temple meditation is the highest form of meditation presented to us. You will find that each time that you perform these rites, you will find yourself in the presence of the Lord. Can't skip any part of these steps. Practice this with an earnest desire to be free of mortal existence. From now on, that word I, not that small I, but the I that is the God within, sings within your being. And so, if you can remember these steps and quickly put whatever is troubling you, whatever is appearing of discord in that outer picture, and even, whatever you think you're clinging to as well, whatever good you're clinging to, because God is the only good we want to cling to. And simple steps: sacrifice your material good, your material personal sense of existence. Purify yourself completely, washing away all the sense of I, knowing that all good is already within you, and you are the light of the world. And we devote ourselves completely to the worship and sanctity and sacredness of the truth of who we are. And in doing that, we can find ourselves standing in the presence. Our only function is to abide in God. And so it is. Yeah, and we can totally trust that we'll be given exactly what we need in the moment that we need it. And that really God is the gardener here. And if we just let go and let God, trust, surrender to that power that is running that universe perfectly, sustaining and maintaining it every moment, and continually waking up to that. And it's certainly easy to fall asleep, and it's certainly easy when the senses are really triggered. But realizing that it is the illusion, it is the hypnotism, it's the world mind that we've opened the door to through thought. And if we just stop thinking, we close that door to the world mind and spirit comes in. But it's putting all of those concepts, all of that thought on the altar. And as one of the posts that one of the realizations that Kim came to that from a statement of Joel's, it's not so much giving up thought, it's giving up the consciousness that needs the thought, that needs to think. You're in the Holy of Holies. And but so often we beat ourselves up thinking that we've made a mistakes. There are no mistakes, there's only experiences. And every experience has the capacity to lead us to the burning brazier, where we can just put it quickly on the altar and then move forward with that purification, with the omnipresence of supply, with the light, with our devotion, and coming into the presence of God, living in that presence, constantly having and abiding in God. And that requires accepting omnipresence now. And that's a really big word, accept. If Sean was to offer us $1 million each, it wouldn't do us any good if we didn't accept it. But God is offering us omnipresent substance everywhere, all the time, equally. And we just need to accept that that is who we are. That we are completely fulfilled now. And recognizing quickly when we step into the painful past, our memory, or the fearful future, our imagination, and come back quickly to the holy instant, to this now, where God is appearing as each of us, as one. In light, in love, perfection, holiness, peace. Just resting in I. If that's all you can do, is come up with the word I. I. Who am I? I. God is my life. God lives my life. There is only one life. God is all, and all is God. This is a spiritual universe. Joel's main message. Impersonalize everything. Judge not by appearances, judge righteous judgment. There's no righteous judgment in the five senses. Die daily. That dying daily is what we want the most and fear the most. Dying to that personal sense of I, the devil, the Lord God in second Genesis. I live, yet not I. Christ lives my life, as Paul said. Paul, who was Saul, let the Saul in all of us die. If we were Sapphira and Ananias, what would we be withholding from God? What am I holding back from putting on the altar? What little personal material sense am I not prepared to give up for my divine heritage? What will keep me as the prodigal, feeding with the swine when the kingdom awaits me? And I only need accept it. Just accept now, not tomorrow. One life, infinite. One power, not good and evil. Perfect intelligence, omnipresent, available in no thought, in emptiness and stillness. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. There is no peace in the world. A false sense of security. You are the light of the world. Let your light so shine. Let's be the 10 righteous men. Devotion and dedication to truth. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Knowing it, living it, knowing is it to live it. And the 1-year-old that falls down continues to get up, and we can too. We don't criticize the 1-year-old, scold the 1-year-old. We won't scold ourselves. I'm all right now, and it's always right now. My temple is my consciousness. And I'm responsible for what abides in my house, my consciousness. Hold no one in condemnation. Before you come to the altar, if you have aught with your brother, make peace there. You are your brother. There's only one life. You're the ice cube floating on the ocean. Melt into your wholeness, your beingness, your totality. All sin is just not realizing who we are. That's it. We've missed the mark in knowing who we are. We've forgotten the truth of our identity. But we can remember quickly. What doth hinder you? Pick up your bed and walk. You're not your body. You're not your mind. Pure consciousness everywhere, omnipresent. I and my Father are one. Take no thought for what ye shall eat, what ye shall drink, or wherewithal ye shall be clothed. The Father knoweth what ye have in need, and he giveth liberally. Resist not evil. What is evil? Evil is a belief that you're separate and apart from God. That's all. And in that separateness, there's fear, guilt, lack, limitation, judgment, criticism. So we know when we've stepped out of truth, and it's as easy as flipping a switch to come back to truth. Turn ye and live. Any remnants that you're holding on to, throw them onto the fire now. If there's any sense of a little personal me, I take it into that bath and wash it all away. And know that you are the substance of all form, because God is your life. You are the light of the world. dispelling all appearance of darkness that has no reality. It's only an appearance, the mirage, the illusion. The light dispels it all. And that incense is your devotion, your dedication to truth, to living and moving and having your being in God continually, ceasingly, ceaselessly, till the mist disperses, and you stand in the holy presence of the truth of who you are. God is appearing as God in infinite, individualized presence. God as. And so it is.